So they depart Lejeune, and they show up at Camp Pendleton, California. And they get to Camp Pendleton, and we'll talk more about this, but Camp Pendleton is believe it or not, it's on the coast of California, and there's some pretty aggressive hills in Camp Pendleton, which I've spent many nights on because we would work up there. And they can turn some soft men into some hard men pretty quickly, or break men if they're too weak. So back to the book. Our ranks were filled by 215 men and 7 officers who had never before served together. Half of our enlisted men were infantry-trained regulars. The other half were reservists, most of whom were youngsters who knew little of Marine infantry and its methods. 5 weeks after we first formed up at Camp Pendleton, we went into the attack against North Korean soldiers who were dug into a hill north of Seoul. And we had spent half of that time on board ship on the way to war. So let me break that down to you. They have 5 weeks. So 5 weeks from when they form up. 5 weeks later, they're attacking North Korean troops. So just FYI, for a SEAL platoon that's going to Iraq, we used to work up for a full year. This is after we went through SEAL training and after we went through SEAL qualification training and after all the guys show up at the team and go to special schools, and then you get formed up into a platoon and you have an unbelievable workup to prepare. And the Marine Corps does this too. I mean, the Army, everyone does this now. That's the amount of preparation that it takes to prepare for combat. And here are these guys, 5 weeks, of which, what was it? Half that time is spent on a ship just sailing over there. Unbelievable. Back to the book. The sun-scorched hills of Camp Pendleton had, over the years, toughened the legs and tested the spirits of thousands of America's best fighting men. One of those towering hills loomed across the road from our training site. So again, you want to get tough? Get on some hills with a rucksack on your back. That will do it to you. And I guess I kind of included those little sections about Camp Pendleton Hills for my own pleasure, thinking about those hills. Back to the book. They're going through this training, and they're getting ready to deploy. And we'll go back to the book now. Dorothy took $75 of our scant resources and bought an airline ticket from Syracuse to San Diego. Each night after we had dismissed the troops, Bill and I, this is Bill Graber, he's another one of the officers, Bill and I caught a ride to the hotel. Restaurants in the little village of San Clemente were closed that late, but Dorothy would have a cold supper waiting for me. Then we would stroll to the beach and listen to the waves crash across the sand. During those walks, we talked about the babies, and we made plans for my return from Korea. My next assignment, I assured her, would give us at least 2 years at a good duty station. Maybe I would be senior enough for us to rate decent quarters. In the mornings, early and still dark, Bill Graber and I would grab a ride back to camp with the other officers. Everyone except the driver slept all the way, crowded against each other in the tight seats of the car. We were very tired, but we were young men, and we did dearly love our beautiful wives. And you're going to see throughout this book that even though his wife was not with him, she was with him the whole time. Like many spouses are when guys are deployed overseas.